In today's headline, face-to-face NCR classes start. Rody, Bong, will you run? Jab, well done. DILG, Isko. BuCor eyes 30,000 virus jobs. Nuezca autopsy underway. Department of Agriculture's eyes aid to Nueva Ecija farmers. Myanmar junta slams United Nations after envoy rejected. Good morning, I am Kim Sanja and you are watching Tribune News on Q. Today is the 3rd of December and here are the latest this Friday morning. The Department of Education, or DepEd, has allowed 28 schools in Metro Manila to hold limited face-to-face classes next week. DepEd Public Affairs Service Director June Arvin Gudoy confirmed to reporters that NCR, or National Capital Region schools, will start on the 6th of November. Each school division in the NCR will have 1 or 2 schools to be included in the pilot run of face-to-face classes. The schools have already conducted dry runs in Comembo Elementary School at Barangay Comembo, Makati City. At least 72 pupils from kindergarten to grade 3 with maximum of 13 pupils per classroom were chosen to participate in the pilot run, according to its school principal, Dr. Emelita Cahigal. For her part, Makati Schools Division Superintendent Corleen Cedillas expressed readiness for the pilot run of limited face-to-face classes in the city. Instead of using plastic barriers, Makati City has installed ultraviolet C lights and heavy-duty air purifiers to disinfect the classrooms, she said. The administration party PDP Laban is praying for a miracle that Senator Bongo would still change his mind on withdrawing his presidential candidacy in next year's election. PDP Laban Secretary General Melvin Matibag on Thursday revealed that party officials have yet to talk with Go following his withdrawal that left the party chaired by President Rodrigo Duterte without a candidate for the palace. Mr. Duterte late Thursday said Go's decision to withdraw made a lot of people sad. Duterte said in a speech Thursday at his first public event since Go, he is withdrawing his presidential bid that Go have made a lot of people sad than happy, and he respects his decision, especially if family is involved. He added, but with a hint that hope spring eternal, they cannot do anything about it. The president asked Go he will run or not. Go is the president's presidential bet, and it remains unclear whether Duterte will publicly endorse another palace contender. Matibag said on television that he still hasn't considered the idea where Senator Bongo is no longer his candidate. They are all in for Senator Bongo. He said that he is praying for a miracle that he will continue his bid, and they are still awaiting his move because he hasn't withdrawn officially yet. PDP Laban President and Energy Secretary Alfonso Cusi has said he respects Go's decision as a man of principle worthy of companion with the hero Andres Bonifacio and acknowledged father of the Philippine Revolution. Following Cusi's statement on Wednesday, Cabinet Secretary and PDP Laban Executive Secretary Carlo Nograles said that if Go would be firm on his decision, the party may adopt a candidate for president from another party. Go announced that he is dropping out of the 2022 presidential race on the 30th of November, citing as a primary reason his family's opposition to his running. The Department of the Interior and Local Government, or DILG, lauded Filipinos from all walks of life for participating in the recently concluded national vaccination drive. DILG Undersecretary Jonathan Malaya said in his interview on Daily Tribune's morning news program, Gising Na, that the entire Philippines have been good in terms of vaccination. Malaya said the national vaccination days made the Philippines a global record holder for being the 5th country with the greatest number of individuals vaccinated in one day. He said that based on the data from the National Vaccination Operations Center, or envoy, around 2.6 people were vaccinated in one day. He added that the figure is also 2.5 higher than the country's regular daily vaccination rate, averaging 1 million jobs per day. Data from the National Vaccination Dashboard showed that as of 4 p.m., the country has vaccinated a total of 7,628,432 individuals during the 3-day vaccination drive. Malaya called the 3-day nationwide simultaneous drive a success, despite some challenges encountered in the provinces. Surigao City, for example, has 21 island barangays. Imagine how they brought the COVID-19 vaccine to those 21 barangays, he said. Malaya said he is doubtful whether the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases, or IATF, would place the National Capital Region to a more relaxed alert level status. He said that there is a chance that the government might place it on an alert level 1. But Malaya wouldn't bet on it because of the Omicron variant. He noted that the country cannot afford to be complacent as many countries around the world are imposing stricter border controls and protocols due to the threat of the Omicron variant. Tribune News on Q will be back after these reminders.
Botomoto Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
Chris masaya, pagsama-sama.
Bong, yung naumpisahan ko, tapusin mo. Mga bagong highway, tulay, tren, dapat ma-enjoy na kaagad ng mga tao yan. Kailangan lahat bakunado at laging may ayuda pag kailangan. Huwag dapat makabalik ang mga drug lords para ligtas ang pamilya. Yung ginawa mong malasakit centers, maganda yan. Padamihin mo pa. Magkasama tayo. Tayo ang nagsimula. Tuloy-tuloy lang, Bong.
Botomoto Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
Chris masaya, pagsama-sama.
We are back on Tribune News on Q. Department of Justice Secretary Menardo Guevara on Thursday revealed that at least 30,000 doses of coronavirus diseases 2019 or COVID-19 vaccines will be delivered to the Bureau of Corrections or BuCor until the 5th of December and will be inoculated to persons deprived of liberty or PDL in its jail facilities. Guevara made the statement following the assurance of vaccine czar and National Task Force head Carlito Galvez Jr. that vaccine will be delivered to the agency. As of the 19th of November, the BuCor said a total of 37,513 of 48,539 PDL in its 7 operating precincts and penal farms were already vaccinated against COVID-19. Of those vaccinated, 9,359 PDL got their full doses, while 28,286 had their first dose. At the new Bilibid Prison NBP in Muntinlupa City, 22,134 PDL have been vaccinated, while the Correctional Institution for Women in Mandaluyong City had vaccinated 3,100. Meantime, the Sablayan Prison and Penal Farm in Occidental Mindoro had 790, San Ramon Prison and Penal Farm in Zamboanga City, 1,716, Leyte Regional Prison, 1,946, Davao Prison and Penal Farm in Davao del Norte, 6,122, and the Iwahig Prison and Penal Farm in Palawan, 1,705. Guevara said that his understanding is that the actual inoculation of PDL need not be done on the national vaccination days. The Justice Secretary also noted that in the 2 to 3 days, the National Vaccination Operations Center will deliver the vaccines directly to the various prison facilities of the BuCor across the country, and the agency will provide its own vaccinators. The Bureau of Corrections disclosed on Thursday that the remains of former Police Senior Master Sergeant Jonel Nuezca, who murdered 2 neighbors in Tarlac in December of 2020, will undergo autopsy to determine the cause of his death. BuCor spokesperson Gabriel Chaklag said that the initial findings by the facility's medical personnel point to cardiac infraction, which noted that the former policeman possibly suffered a heart attack. The result of the autopsy on the body of Nuezca is expected to be released within the week, and to rule out foul play and to rule out rumors, they wanted to finish the final investigation report of this and present it to the public since they knew it is in the interest of the public, said Chaklag. Nuezca was pronounced dead at 6:44 p.m. on Tuesday, the 30th of November 2021. He was brought unconscious to the New Bilibid Prison Hospital by his fellow inmates after he reportedly experienced dizziness. Nuezca's death comes more than 3 months after a Tarlac court found him guilty of murdering his neighbors, mother and son, Sonia and Frank Anthony Gregorio, due to an altercation over a boga explosion and right of way. The Paniqui-Tarlac Regional Trial Court Branch 106 sentenced Nuezca to reclusion perpetua or up to 40 years in prison for each count of murder. Nuezca was also ordered to pay damages worth 952,560 to the Gregorio family. Meanwhile, Chaklag said it is up to Nuezca's next of kin to decide on what to do with his remains, adding that once the body is released from the funeral service provider following the autopsy, they have no control over it. The Department of Agriculture, or DA, aims to provide financial assistance to around 59,000 rice farmers from Nueva Ecija under the Rice Competitiveness Enhancement Fund Rice Farmers Financial Assistance, or RCEP-RFFA. The assistance program, which was launched last week here, plans to provide 5,000 direct cash assistance for farmers registered under the registry system for basic sectors in agriculture who have 2 hectares of farmland or less. The funds are from the 7.6 billion pesos tariff collection from imported rice from 2019 up to 2020 and as under the rice tariffication law. The agency has allotted 10 billion pesos each year for the RCEP. Agriculture Secretary William Dar said that farmers are now reaping the benefits of having a higher volume of produce with a lower cost of the production, while retailers are also benefiting from the low price of rice due to the RCEP and the National Integrated Rice Program. He added that the country has 19.4 million metric tons of rice from last year, with the prediction of breaking this record for this year with more than 20 million of rice. Tribune News on Q will be back. Stay with us.
Boto mo to Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
Chris masaya, pagsama-sama. Katribu, hanap mo ba ay food to satisfy your cravings? Essential products o ano paman? Sagot ka namin dito sa tindahan ni Tarsi. Halina't tuklasin, kilalanin at alamin ang kwento sa likod ng iba't ibang produkto at negosyo mula sa ating Pinoy local entrepreneurs na tiyak papatok sa'yo. Samahan natin si Tarsi simula November 16 na mapapanood sa programang gising na mula alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga sa Facebook page ng Daily Tribune at Tribune Now on YouTube.
Boto mo to Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
Chris masaya, pagsama-sama.
You're still watching Tribune News on Q. Myanmar's junta on Thursday slammed a United Nations decision to deny its chosen representative a seat at the world body and keep in place an envoy appointed by Aung San Suu Kyi's ousted government. The committee responsible for approving nominations of ambassadors to the New York body met Wednesday but deferred a decision over arrival claims to Myanmar and Afghanistan's seats, diplomats said. The deferral keeps in place envoys appointed to the body by both governments before they were toppled by a coup in Myanmar in February and the Taliban's takeover in Afghanistan in August. Myanmar junta spokesperson Zo Min Tu told AFP that this decision does not reflect the reality on the ground and existence of our country, and they will continue submitting to the UN, as usual according to diplomatic procedure and the right to representation in accordance with international and local laws. The deferral leaves Kyaw Mo Tun, appointed by Suu Kyi's government, in place as Myanmar's envoy. He made headlines shortly after the putsch by flashing the three-finger salute of democracy protesters from his chair, brazenly defying the junta's insistence that he no longer represents the country. Myanmar has been in turmoil since the military ousted Suu Kyi's National League for Democracy or NLD government, sparking huge democracy protests which have triggered a bloody crackdown from the junta. NLD lawmakers make up the majority of the shadow National Unity government, which is working to overturn the military regime, which the junta has branded terrorist. That wraps up the stories this morning. Before we go, we would like to thank the following: Mary Kay, the SM Store, the Department of Tourism, Araneta City, MG Motors, Haina Motors, Security Bank, and Overseas Community Affairs Council member Alan Lin of Republic of China for their continued support. Again, this is Kim Sancha, and thanks for watching Tribune News on Q. But reminding you, we only have 22 days before Christmas. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning.
Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. Download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS and Google Play for Android. to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune invites you to join its Viber community Katribu to get updates on the hottest news on politics, business, sports, lifestyle, and entertainment. Emoticons of the Tribune mascot Tarsito are available on our community Viber.